definitely not the lowest density I've ever felt before, but it also doesn't feel like it's too much hair. Even though it's technically a center monofilament part, it is a wide one. So left, center, right parts with this are okay. Having these longer bangs gives you a lot of options. So it does fit me really nice in that sense. I am loving this fun new color that they've introduced. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Chiquel YouTube channel. My name is Amanda and today I'm excited to give you a review of this brand new style by Rene of Paris called Smooth Waves. But before I jump into it all, I'm going to remind you to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can learn even more about alternative hair. Okay, now Rene of Paris just dropped 2 new styles in their Muse collection, and more specifically, they have created a limited edition Muse collection of wigs, including Smooth Waves and as well as Posh Waves, which is the other style that they have introduced. Now, not only have they dropped those 2 new styles, but they've also dropped this new color that I'm wearing right now called Deep Plum Brown R, which is a color you can find on Smooth Waves and as well as Posh Waves, their other new style. Now, the name Deep Plum Brown R is technically a good name for this because that's essentially what this is. We have this rich, deep brunette color. It's not quite black, it's a dark brown. And then we are highlighted heavily with this deep plum highlight. And then on top of that, we do have some darker roots, which essentially just make it look like a grown out highlight of this plum color. Now, I often get asked about the colors and if they lean more warm, cool, or neutral. Now, there's also a lot of people who can get confused on red tones and whether the reds are cool or warm. So whenever you have a color like this plum color here, or like a wine or a berry color, the colors that have more of that like purpley undertone to them, those are going to be cool tones of red. Whenever you get more into like the coppery side, those are going to be more of a warm red. But this right here, this color overall, this is going to be a cool color. Now, what's really neat about this color is if I come closer, you can actually see it also has little bits of like purple in this. So I don't know if you can see that right in here. Oh, you can see some down here as well. So aside from that rich plum that you do see, there's like little flecks of purple, all just like very subtly scattered throughout the color, which creates this really neat dimensional new color that they've created. Now, before I talk more about this wig, let me give you a bit of a spin here. Now, as soon as I saw this wig, and also as soon as I put this on, I was thinking, wow, this reminds me of essentially a longer Hollie by Jon Renau. We have these longer bangs in the front that you can use either as like a curtain bang, or you can do more of a side swept look if you wanted to. Get them to the side. Or you could even bring them forward and cut them to make them more of that like straight across bang if you want. So having these longer bangs gives you a lot of options as to what's gonna suit you best. Aside from that, we have very slight layering throughout the style. There's not a ton, to be honest. If I show you here, most of the layering is really only within the last couple of inches of the style. So it doesn't have any layers like midway throughout the style. It's typically just closer to the bottom. But then we have this sort of undone curl here, giving it that soft and subtle wave. Now, this is made with heat-friendly synthetic fiber. So the wonderful thing about heat-friendly synthetic fiber is that it is going to be less shiny than your regular synthetic fiber, which is, for me, a bonus. But one thing also about heat-friendly synthetic fiber is that the ends are going to get a little bit more frizzy and frazzly a little bit more quickly than your regular synthetic fiber. And because this is a style that is going to hit your shoulders most likely, unless you have a very, very long neck, but because this is a style that's going to hit your shoulders, this will likely be one that you are going to have to maintain with heat on a regular basis if you want the ends to be looking nice and smooth as they are straight out of the box like this one is. So every few wears or so, you might need to go in with a fine tooth comb and a hair straightener, follow behind your fine tooth comb with that hair straightener, Give it a little bit of a curl at the ends, and that's going to get rid of the frizz while maintaining a little bit of that curl pattern you see here. Now, I find smooth waves to be a pretty natural density. I would say more low to medium. It's definitely not the lowest density I've ever felt before, but it also doesn't feel like it's too much hair. You are also gonna find just a very small layer of permatease in this. So as I put my fingers through here, this is an open wefted cap, I will mention, and I'll show you in a minute. But when I put my hands through here, I do feel a little bit of permatease throughout the majority of the wefting here, which essentially is going to be there to give you a little bit of extra volume within your style. And it's going to be there to just help disguise any of that open wefting. If your hair moves a funny way, or the wind blows it, just so you don't necessarily expose all that wefting and see right through your scalp. So there is a benefit of that permatease. And if you're someone who doesn't like permatease and you're like, get away from me, permatease, truthfully, it's not a ton. You shouldn't feel overwhelmed by this at all, especially because you're not really gonna find a lot of permatease in the crown. So it's still gonna lay pretty low to your head right at the crown and not feel too poofy in that area. And for me, when you do have that permatease up there, that's when I start feeling like I'm a pageant queen or like a 6 o'clock news anchor. And I just feel like it's a little too much for me particularly. But if you are someone who is scared of that as well, don't worry, you're not gonna feel overwhelmed by that either because it's really not there. Now, Smooth Waves is going to have an extended temple to temple lace front. So when I say extended, I just mean that it goes beyond where the cap is sewn to that monofilament on the top there, and it extends just a little bit further. So it sort of gradually melts into your ear tabs here, and also on this side. And now, oopsie, I'm bonking you over. This is what your lace front is gonna look like with this color. Now just note that with the appearance of lace fronts, the color of the fiber plays a large role often in what your lace front is going to look like. So because this is made with dark fiber, you are going to see the knotting a little bit more visibly than if it were a blonde or a lighter fiber. So overall, I mean, yeah, you can see the knotting if you are up close if you have this color. This also has what they are calling a wide center monofilament part. So often center monofilament parts are about an inch or so, and you have about an inch of space to work with. This center monofilament part is roughly, I don't know, 2.5 to 3 inches. It's about this wide. So you do have quite a large space to work with so that you can give yourself a left part if you want to. There is enough space to do that. You could give yourself a right part. So this is me parting it as close as I can, by the way, to the seam where that monofilament meets the rest of the cap. And then on the right-hand side, same idea here. This is as close as I can go, and where that seam is, where it meets the rest of the cap from that monofilament. So even though it's technically a center monofilament part, it is a wide one, so you still have quite a bit of room to work with. So left, center, right parts with this are okay. In fact, I think I almost prefer a side part on this style. I don't know, what do you guys think? I feel like this is a style where I would definitely need to take heat to the bangs to help them go where I want them to go. Now, after taking this out of the box, this is a new one out of the box. The only thing I have done prior to coming on camera is kind of brush through the part here and taken out that zigzag part. Aside from that, I've done nothing. But I have found that I don't really know what the bangs want to do with this, so I would definitely take some heat, put it at the root to help decide and to help train where I want the bangs to go, because I don't really know how I would prefer them, and I don't think they really know what they want to do right now either. Okay, let me take this off and we'll take a peek at this cap here. So here you have that extended temple to temple lace front. So if this weren't extended, it would end, that lace front would end about here, right where that sort of seam is right there. And that's all the lace you would have, but this is a little bit extended, not by much though, just a little bit extra. And then here's that wide center monofilament part. If this was a full monofilament top, you would see this monofilament material in this space here as well, and it would go out all the way to this sort of horseshoe shape there. But instead, it's just this wide center monofilament part, or some people might call it a partial monofilament top. Aside from that, this cap has open wefting. Now, open wefting means that all of these fibers have been sewn into rows by a machine and then sewn onto these elastic bands almost that run vertically throughout your wig, which helps make this nice and stretchy. And then also really ventilated. You can stick your fingers through this so it's a bit breathable. Then you're also gonna find some felt ear tabs here, nice and soft with that felt extended nape. And then you do have Velcro adjusters on Smooth Waves. So you can adjust this a little bit more to fit your circumference if you need. So overall, I'm gonna put this back on. Overall, I find Smooth Waves to fit pretty true to average. Now I am a petite size. I measure 20.5 inches in circumference, 11.5 inches front to nape, and 11.5 inches ear to ear. I find that ear to ear, this fits me really nicely. The ear tabs are not really impeding on my ear crease on either side. So it does fit me really nice in that sense. I do find there's a little bit of extra bulk within the cap here. So that's just something, if you are a petite, you can either deal with it or not. I find that I just deal with it and don't really mind the bulkiness too much as long as it's not too bulky. And then with your circumference, I would just bring this in a little bit to make it fit my circumference a bit more. But overall, this fits very true to average. You do still have some stretch here, of course, in your circumference and within that wefting. So if you are a little bigger than average, then you should still be okay with this one as well. If you are someone who loves updos, this one could definitely go in an updo. There's enough fiber to do that. And then you would have your bangs in the front as well to help soften up the hairline so you're not exposing too much. I always find updos look best when you do have a bit of a bang or a layer in the front to sort of frame your face. So this could absolutely go in like a claw clip or even a little pony at the back as well. And it could even work in a half up, half down. That's cute. I love styles that have bangs and half up, half downs. They're always super cute. Anyways, that is pretty much all I have to share with you about Smooth Waves by Rene of Paris. I am loving this fun new color that they've introduced to these two styles. Let me know what you think of this color. Let me know what you think of this style, and if it's one that you are adding to your list as well. But that is all I have to share with you today. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I will talk to you later. Bye everybody.